What are the top 5 best smart weighted hula hoops to buy? I'm Hoopsmiles, and I'm gonna let you know my top 5 recommended smart hoops in this video. In terms of disclosure, Swiss Activa is the paying sponsor of this video. Also, any Swiss Activa hoop that appears in this video, I did previously receive for free from Swiss Activa. However, I can say whatever I want about any brands and or hoops featured in this video. With that said, let's get to my top 5 recommended smart hoops. Starting off with the 5th best smart hoop on my list, that honor goes to this hoop right here. This is the Swiss Activa S5S model. Something I like about this hoop right here is that it did register under that 80 decibel mark in the sound test. If you look at the counter up close, it does appear to have rubber wheels. Rubber wheels can sometimes help to reduce the noise when spinning. Something else I like about this hoop is the cord length is adjustable and the ball weight is on the heavier end, registering over 15 ounces. Also, the spin on this hoop is relatively smooth, so that's another feature that I like about this smart hoop. Probably my biggest complaint with this hoop or any S5 series hoop, when wearing an S5 hoop lower on my body, it did feel more uncomfortable to wear it there. When using the S5, I can recall at least one time finding some marks or possible bruises on my body after using it. Also, when compared to other smart hoops, I did find that the S5 hoop was trickier to assemble. So coming in as the 5th best smart hoop on my list is the Swiss Activa S5S. If you are interested in getting any Swiss Activa hoop, visit my affiliate links in the description of this video. Swiss Activa is also the sponsor of this video, and they are giving my audience a discount by using my affiliate coupon codes, which are also located in the video description. Buying through those links and or using my coupon codes does help to support me financially and helps to support this channel, so thank you so much for your support. Now it's time for my 4th best smart hoop on my top 5 smart hoop list, which is this hoop right here, the Swiss Activa S5S Plus. This smart hoop has the same body as the S5, but if you look at the counter here, it is an upgrade. It does light up and it is USB rechargeable. This counter also appears to have rubber wheels. The cord length is adjustable and the centrifugal ball is over 15 ounces in weight. And this smart hoop had a lower decibel reading when testing for sound. Just like the other S5 hoops, this hoop did have a relatively smooth spin, and it also had some of the other problems with the S5 hoops, such as issues with comfortability when I was wearing the hoop lower, and also the hoop body being more challenging to assemble. Despite the issues I just mentioned, the S5S Plus does have some nice features, making this hoop the 4th best hoop on my top 5 list. Now moving on to the 3rd best smart weighted hula hoop in this video, the Swiss Activa S4S. Something I really like about this hoop is how it performed in the sound test. Of all the smart hoops I tested for sound, this smart hoop was the quietest among the smart hoops that had a ball weight greater than 10.7 ounces. Something else I like about this smart hoop, when the ball was spinning at a faster speed, this hoop did spin very smooth. However, this hoop became less smooth the slower the ball was spinning, which is something I didn't like. The hoop frame is different on the S4S versus the S5, and I don't recall having as many issues with comfort using this hoop versus the S5. But I may benefit from using this hoop more to get a better gauge on just how comfortable this hoop is in different situations. Here's an up-close look at the S4S counter. It does appear to have rubber wheels. Just like the other Swiss Activa hoops, the cord length is adjustable. So coming in at number 3 on my list is the Swiss Activa S4S. Now it's time for the 2nd best smart hoop in this review, which is the Swiss Activa S2 XXL hoop. Something I like about this hoop is it did come with 4 extra pieces, which is nice, especially for people who are looking for a hoop to fit plus size body types. And the noise level wasn't too bad with this hoop. It did register under 80 decibels. The cord length is adjustable and the ball weight is at least 15 ounces. For the most part, in terms of comfort, this hoop felt fine to wear, though I do feel like I would benefit from using this hoop more and seeing how comfortable this hoop is in different situations. Now, a feature that's really nice about this hoop right here is just check out how flexible the body is. So that is a nice feature right there. Whereas the other smart hoops in the top 5 have a much more rigid body, such as the S5S Plus right here. So this is about as far as I can pull this hoop apart right here. And then there's also this hoop, the S4S. This is about as far as I can pull this hoop apart. The number 1 hoop on this list also has a more rigid hoop frame, which I will get to in a little bit. Now, having a more rigid hoop frame isn't necessarily a bad thing, but if you are taking this on and off, what I do recommend doing is take some pieces off first, and then put the hoop on your body, and then put those pieces back on the hoop to get the hoop on. And then you can do a similar technique of disconnecting some pieces first to help make it easier to take the hoop off. To ensure the longevity of your smart hoop, I don't recommend trying to bend your hoop beyond the maximum amount it can bend. Now, in terms of these more rigid Swiss Activa hoops, something else to think about is there's really only so many pieces that you can put together if you want to make a size for a much smaller waist. So right here, as you can see, like I can't really bend this hoop much further to make for a smaller waist size. So if I put this together right here, which it does get a little bit more trickier to get the hoop together if you're going to make a smaller size. 11 pieces is the smallest size I can make this hoop. With the S5 hoops, it seemed like 11 pieces was the smallest size I could make those hoops. I did try 10 pieces, but it seemed like that was too small and I couldn't get it to connect together. On the other hand, the S2XXL hoop does have smaller pieces when compared to the other Swiss Activa hoops. The minimum amount of pieces I'm able to get into this hoop is 13. So as you can see, there is a difference in size in terms of how small some of these hoops can get. The S2XXL hoop is able to get the smallest when compared to the other Swiss Activa hoops. Now, having the greater flexibility in the body, I do feel like makes it easier to get this hoop on and off. Now, something the S2XXL hoop doesn't have is buckles. This hoop not having buckles, I don't think is that big of a deal. I don't feel like it's too hard to get on and off. Here's an up close look at the wheels right here. They do appear to be made of plastic. The center part they are resting on appears to be made of metal. Overall, this hoop has a decent spin. I like the ease of use with this hoop. So this hoop right here, the Swiss Activa S2XXL hoop, does come in on my top 5 list at number 2. Time out, I wanna give you an update about my cancer situation. I was diagnosed with cancer over a year ago now, and I do have some news. The last couple of blood draws that I have done have come up undetectable. So that is a great blessing to have that news, but that doesn't mean that the cancer is not still in my system. It just means it's not detectable to the test, and I still am on chemotherapy. I will likely be on chemotherapy for multiple years, which is unfortunate because I do experience some side effects from being on chemotherapy that aren't that pleasant. So I just really want to thank everyone who supports me here and watches my videos. One of my dreams in life is to get 100,000 subscribers on this channel. It would mean so much to me if you subscribe, if you haven't done so already. Also liking this video and commenting on this video. Any way that you can support me or support this channel would mean so much. Thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. Now it's time for my number 1 smart weighted hula hoop on my top 5 list, which is the Swiss Activa S6 Plus. Out of all the smart hoops I have tested, this was the smoothest. When compared to other smart hoops that I have tested, the S6 Plus felt like it did the best job at maintaining smoothness, even when I was spinning the ball around at slower speeds. Something else that's nice about this hoop is it does have the upgraded counter that is rechargeable. The cord length is adjustable and the weight is over 15 ounces. Also, when using this hoop, I don't recall having any major issues with discomfort with this hoop. However, I do feel like I would benefit from using this hoop more to see how comfortable this hoop is in different situations. When looking at the counter up close, even though these wheels appear to be made of plastic, this hoop did a decent job when testing for sound. The S6 Plus is also more on the rigid side. This is about as far as I can bend this hoop apart. Also, the minimum amount of pieces I can get into this hoop is 11. Now, something I will say about one of the S6 Plus hoops that I received, the first day I got it and opened it up after I tried it out, I did notice that one of the pieces, the locking mechanism, part of it did appear to be broken. That's the part that appears to secure the pieces together. Something I observed with the S5 hoops, I felt like when pushing the button in to disconnect the hoop, I felt like the S5 series hoops were more likely to have the button kind of stick in place and not come up right away. That didn't happen all the time. I felt like that happened much less with the buttons in the S4S and the S6 Plus. Overall, the Swiss Activa S6 Plus right here, I just love how smooth this hoop spins. I just feel like that's a great feature. Also too, having a hoop that's relatively on the quieter side like this hoop, I feel like is another great thing to have. So this hoop right here is my #1 hoop on my top 5 smart hoop list. Here's my top 5 smart hoops, which all happen to be Swiss Activa hoops. And like I mentioned earlier, if you do want to get yourself a Swiss Activa hoop, visit my affiliate links in the description of this video. You can also get a discount by using my affiliate coupon codes, which are also located in the video description. Swiss Activa is also the sponsor of this video, so if you do buy through those links, it does help to support me financially and helps to support this channel. So thank you so much for your support. Also, if you do need extra pieces to make your smart hoop bigger, I did put my affiliate links to buy extra pieces in the description also. Even if Swiss Activa wasn't the sponsor of this video, these would still be my top 5 smart hoops. There are a bunch of smart hoops out there, but at the current moment, these are my top 5 smart hoops based on these smart hoops that I have tested. Now, I'm not gonna talk about every smart hoop that I have tested, but I do wanna mention some smart hoops that didn't end up making the cut to be one of my top 5 smart hoops in this video. Starting out with this Kmart hoop and this Des Moines hoop right here. Even though both of these hoops have a decent ball weight and the cord is adjustable, something I don't like about these hoops is they did spin on the louder side. I'm typically not a fan of smart hoops that register over 80 decibels when testing for sound. Something else I feel like is not the best about both of these hoops is the spinning action. It didn't have the smoothest spin, and that is something else I don't like. Also too, I feel like if you are a beginner, especially if you are struggling, these two hoops might be a little bit more challenging to get going, so that's also something else to think about. The next hoop that didn't make my list is this hoop right here. This was an interesting hoop. Out of all the smart hoops I have tested, this smart hoop did register as the quietest when testing for sound. But a problem with this hoop is the weight. I do feel like the weight right here is on the lighter side. Also, the cord length is adjustable, but the ball doesn't go as far as I'd want it to go away from the hoop. So I feel like that's another problem. And when spinning this hoop, I feel like it's more challenging to get the ball to spin around. So especially if you are a beginner and you're struggling, I just feel like this could potentially be a really challenging hoop. And I wouldn't recommend this hoop as the best hoop for beginners who are really having a tough time to get that ball to go around. Another smart hoop that didn't make my list is this one right here. Now, I felt like this hoop had a relatively smooth spin. Also too, something I like about this hoop is it did spin on the quieter side. But a problem with this hoop is the ball weight. The ball is not very heavy. Probably my biggest concern with this hoop right here is the possibility of the cord disconnecting from the counter. Now, when observing this hoop being used before, that did happen one time. The cord did disconnect from the counter, causing the weighted ball to fly away from the hoop. When looking inside the counter, the way that the cord connects to the counter looks a little sketchy in my opinion, leading me to question just how secure that connection really is. Otherwise, if that wasn't a potential problem with this smart hoop, and if the ball weight was heavier, then this smart hoop could definitely make my top 5 recommended smart hoops in this video. Just to let you know, when I referred to the ball weight of the hoops in this video, how I determine the weight of the ball is I weighed the ball with the clip and part of the cord. If you weigh the ball for each hoop by itself, each ball will weigh less. Also, when it comes to the smart hoop counters featured in this video, I did not fully test the counters and all their functions for accuracy. Something else I want to put out there, when I tested the Kmart hoop and the Des Moines Demoy hoop in this video for sound, I noticed that my sound meter app was giving me decibel readings that seemed lower versus times I've used the same sound app to test hoops in the past. So there could have been some discrepancies between the Demoy and Kmart hoop sound tests when compared to the other sound tests in this video. Also, you may have noticed me wearing this cool t-shirt right here. If you want to buy a Hoopsmiles t-shirt like this, I put a link in the description of this video to do so. This shirt is selling in multiple colors, and I do get a percentage of the shirt sales. So if you want to get yourself a cool looking shirt like this, hop down to the description and click the link there. And if you haven't done so already, if you want to help me achieve my dream of reaching 100,000 subscribers, please subscribe to my channel. It would mean a lot. Big thanks to Swiss Activa for sponsoring this video. And if you want to get yourself a Swiss Activa hoop, visit the description of this video for more information about that. If you're interested in learning how to use a smart weighted hula hoop for beginners, and or you just want to watch some more smart weighted hula hoop videos, I recommend watching the videos appearing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Until next time, enjoy.